So there's a huge list of reasons why you should sell on Amazon as a private label seller. You find tons and tons of people actually preaching this to you and telling you that it would be the best thing to start as soon as possible. Well, that might not always be the case, and in this video, I kind of want to dive deep in with you guys and explain why Amazon FBA might not be the best decision for you to do and the best business for you to start. Let's go. So selling on Amazon FBA, especially as a private label seller, has been a huge hot topic for the last few years. You've probably seen tons and tons of ads regarding Amazon FBA, but there are a lot of people trying to sell you the dream, and sometimes the dream that they try to sell you is really unrealistic, and that's exactly what I want to address and reasons why you may not be suitable or it may not suit your lifestyle. So that's exactly what I want to talk about. But before I dive in, I do want to welcome you. If you're new to this channel, if you're new to the Prestige family, definitely consider subscribing if you're interested in anything Amazon FBA. I release videos once a week now, so if you're interested in anything, I pretty much cover anything you can imagine regarding private label especially. But who am I? My name is Andy. I've been selling on the Amazon platform for a few years now as a private label seller. I'm currently a 7-figure seller and release videos once a week, sorry. I'm making this transition, so bear with me here. I do have an Instagram page where I release daily content on Amazon FBA specific tips and tricks as well. And you can find my Facebook group for this growing page at the Prestige Amazon FBA Mastermind on Facebook. But all of those have direct links down below for your convenience. Feel free to also check out the cheat sheet down below. You'll find it super helpful, especially if you're just starting out. And then a bunch of discount codes to not only save you money, but also send some money my way as well to help this channel put out more content. If you guys are interested in a free 30-minute coaching call for which I release every single video, be sure to stay till the end of this video to figure out how you can be entered into winning that. But for this video, I do want to say congratulations to Eric Davidson for winning the last free coaching call. Definitely message me or privately message me in the Prestige Amazon FBA Mastermind group and we can get that set up and get you started. So I first want to start off by saying that if you're looking into getting into the Amazon FBA business model, especially private label, and you're looking to make money overnight or get rich fast, this is definitely not the business model for you. Time and time again, and so many people are drawn to the Amazon FBA business model because they think that they are going to make their returns very quickly, and that's simply just not the case. I can tell you now that's exactly what I thought when I was first starting out, and that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I was drawn to the actual Amazon FBA business model. I knew that I wasn't going to make money immediately, but I knew that I was going to come very quickly. And relatively speaking, when you're comparing this to other business models, it is very quick, and other, just jobs, it is very quick. But it does take time. Yes, there is money to be made, and Amazon FBA is such a huge opportunity that it's still very big, and in my personal opinion, it's still growing. So a lot of people are moving forward with Amazon FBA for this reason. But one of the downfalls is that a lot of people are trying to sell the over-exaggerated dream. You may see tons and tons of courses, especially if you searched Amazon FBA once and you're getting retargeted for ads everywhere you go. If you're watching YouTube, you see a bunch of YouTube Amazon FBA ads on Facebook, pretty much any type of social media, you will see an Amazon FBA ad for private labeling marketed to you, especially if you searched it before. But these guys are basically just showing tons and tons of revenue, sometimes not even that much, but they're trying to market you a dream and sell you the dream that you can have an Amazon FBA business making this much revenue. And it's true, you can, but it doesn't happen overnight and does require the hard work that most businesses do take. The more effort that you actually put into the business, the more return that you'll see. And this is something that I preach to my students time and time again, and hopefully they can vouch for me when I say this, but I don't sell the dream where you can actually make money very quickly. I actually make it a point to explain to them that this is a long-term process and a long-term play. And again, hopefully my students can vouch for this, the ones that already are selling and seeing success and results. It is definitely something that is not going to make you money overnight. Yes, you do make those sales, and yes, you do profit, But more likely than not, you're going to be putting the money back into the business and growing the business. So what I like to advertise is that you're not going to see huge benefits, huge gains, or huge, income increases probably within the next 6 months to a year, and that's just sometimes even longer, and that's just how the business model works, especially if you're trying to grow the business and just expand it as quickly as possible. And to be honest with you guys, even though I'm a 7-figure seller, sometimes I don't even take a paycheck for my own payments. If I know that I need the money elsewhere, if I'm expanding a certain rate, or, for me, especially during quarantine, I've been putting a lot of money into the business. So not only expanding on, inventory orders to lower my cost of goods sold, but expanding in terms of launching new products. So it could go either way. For me personally, just to let you guys know, like even when you're able to get to that point of becoming a large seller, I don't think I'm even a large seller yet, but when you get bigger and bigger, you will have to make certain sacrifices. And if your business is something that you're trying to grow, you will be putting money back into the business. So sometimes, again, you won't be seeing money overnight. You won't see, a quick return on your money. You'll need to invest it if you want to really grow the business. So that leads me to the next big reason that you should not join Amazon, and it's because you may think it's actually easy and it's something that anybody can do. Now, with that said, this is something that anybody can do, and this is something that I do preach because, well, it's true. I came from a science and biotech background doing microbiology work for the United States Department of Agriculture, and I personally had no marketing skills, no sales skills, nothing that would have been quote unquote required for a typical business like this, and I've been able to make it work for me. So this is exactly something that anybody can do, but it's not easy. Anybody that has marketed that to you is trying to sell you a course, likely, but it's definitely not easy, and it requires a lot of the hard work that most businesses do take. So if you're looking to get into the Amazon FBA private label business model, or Amazon selling in general to make quick money and have it something be super easy, it's likely that it's not going to work for you. And just to tag along with that, this is probably one of the biggest reasons why people say Amazon FBA is a scam. They think coming into the actual business that it's going to be super easy and there's pretty much nothing that can go wrong, but when they go ahead and launch their first product and don't see any success, they just begin to think that it's a scam, it's not going to work for anybody, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why Amazon FBA gets that bad notation of being a scam business model. It doesn't really work. It's saturated. It's it just doesn't work in general, and that's unfortunate because it does take a lot of that hard work, and a lot of people do, like myself, find success, and hopefully you'll be able to too. Something that I like to say really often is nothing worthwhile ever came easy, and that rings true especially with Amazon FBA private labeling, just because a lot of the actual work comes up front. If you ask any of my students, you know that Amazon FBA learning especially, and learning how to do everything and just pretty much learning the blueprint of the business model comes with a lot of front-heavy work. You spend hours and hours every single day, and you spend probably the first few weeks just learning how things work. And with Amazon FBA, especially in 2020 moving forward, there's always changing parts and moving pieces to the actual business model and how Amazon works, just because they're always changing their terms and things like that. So learning is very front-heavy, and it's something that you need to be aware of when you're getting into the business model. And for me personally, if you haven't watched one of my previous videos, I think it's one of the first videos I released, but I do have a video where I personally go in depth of how I lost $10,000 when I was first starting out my Amazon journey, and how I was able to kind of persevere and move forward with that. So just a brief backstory, I thought I knew it all pretty much when I was first starting out my business. I was pretty much going off YouTube, free YouTube content. Not to say that YouTube content isn't helpful. You can pretty much learn everything you need to know about the Amazon FBA private label business model on YouTube. It's all free, but one of the downfalls is that it's very all over the place. So you're going to be learning about one thing that may be towards the end of launching a product and then learning about PPC or learning about putting labels on your product. It's all very disorganized and it's not in a structured format. So that's personally one of the reasons why a course may be helpful to you, or a mentorship program may be helpful to you. But I did lose that $10,000 when I was first starting out because I thought I knew it all. I wasn't doing my due diligence, wasn't spending enough time doing product research, looking at the numbers, things like that. Of course, the Amazon game has changed, but the biggest benefit that I was able to learn from that experience was to learn from my mistakes and just kind of persevere. You may see a lot of failures before you see success, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people are not willing to go into business in general, because they don't want to take that risk, they don't want to make those mistakes. And one of the biggest definitions of an entrepreneur is someone that's willing to make mistakes and take that risk. So if you're looking to take an easy way out, this is probably not for you again, but one of the biggest reasons why I was able to move forward and push forward was that I did see some success early on. It wasn't much success, not nearly the massive success that I'm seeing now, but I did see a sliver of hope and success, and that's what kind of kept me on the perseverance route and able to kind of just push forward and grow my Amazon business. Another reason why you should not sell on Amazon is if you're thinking about having the business for a short term, so maybe less than a year. Especially in 2020 and moving forward, if you're thinking about creating a private label brand, it's likely that it's going to take at least a year for any major results to become apparent and for you to have an actual exit strategy. A lot of times people, again, are just looking for overnight success and making money really quickly, and that's simply just not the case anymore. Again, especially moving forward. Maybe 8 years ago, you could pretty much put up any products or any product that you wanted to sell and make tons and tons of money overnight. And again, that's just not the case. There's definitely a lot more sellers, and you have to think ahead where other sellers aren't, and that's pretty much how the game plan works nowadays. Amazon FBA is definitely a huge long-term play now, especially if you want to grow your brand, you want to grow your brand audience base, you want to grow your brand awareness. The more you're able to do so, the more your brand is worth. That's why it's definitely a huge long-term play, unless you're doing something like retail arbitrage or wholesaling where you're not necessarily owning a brand. This is definitely different, and I'm just speaking directly to private label sellers, but it just increases your overall value, especially if you're able to, just increase your brand value as well as the product you sell. And if you ever have the option, or if you ever plan to actually sell the entire brand as a whole, it's going to be a much bigger payout if you're able to do so. So as always, hopefully this video helps you guys out. I know it wasn't super positive, but hopefully it definitely helps some of you guys who are considering getting into the Amazon FBA business model. I get a lot of people asking me, how were you able to find success so quickly? Well, they don't really see everything behind the curtains. So it definitely is a lot of struggle, and it takes a lot of hard work. You do see results fairly quickly, but that does not come without putting the work in. You're not going to get rich quick. You're not going to get it easy, and you need to play for the long haul. So those are some of my biggest reasons why you should not get into the Amazon FBA private label model, specifically if those were the reasons you were looking to get into it. But as always, if this was helpful for you guys, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. The YouTube algorithm appreciates it, and I appreciate you guys for finding the content helpful. If you guys have any comments or questions, as always, drop them down below. If you guys are interested in that free 30-minute coaching call, do the exact same thing. Like this video, comment, hashtag Prestige Amazon FBA, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out the free links down below, as well as the discount codes and anything you may be interested in. There's a bunch of them down below. But until next time, I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.